We're here today talking with Stephanie Caldwell, author of It's All Questionable, Tales from the Single Life. Stephanie, thanks for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure.
So tell us about your book.
Well, it's called It's All Questionable, as you can see in the background, just in case you forget the title, there it is. It's about me basically starting my life over. I moved from Georgia to Tennessee about 12 years ago. Just decided I needed a little reset of my life. I needed to start my life over. Things weren't really happening for me in Georgia, so I jumped ship and came to Tennessee. And on that very first day, I decided I needed to start writing a blog. So it's called Gypsy Soul. And it was basically just a public journal that I was writing so my friends and family back home could keep up with me and see how my life was unfolding and transitioning in real time. So I wrote that blog for every day for 3 years. And from that, people were like, Stephanie, your blog's hilarious. You really need to write a book. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then people kept, responding on it. And they're like, Stephanie, you have the style that you have is unique. You really need to put yourself out there and write a book. So I took all of these stories and I'm like, you know what? I got enough content here. I got 3 years of content of my transition from going from the big city of Atlanta to the country of Manchester to Nashville, Tennessee. And it was a huge transition for me. I had a lot of, ups and downs through that transition that I've all documented, and people kept pestering me about it. I got my friend Sarah. She's my biggest fan on my blog. She's like, Stephanie, you need to do something with writing. That needs to be your job. And I'm like, yeah. So finally, I started thinking about it. There's so many dreams I have that I have not followed through with. I mean, throughout my whole life, like after college, should have went to film school, didn't. I want to be on the radio, haven't done that. There's lots of things that I haven't followed through with. So I'm like, you know what? This is something that I can do. Apparently, I have a knack for it. And so I just started stringing these stories together and wrote a book. Then they basically have a lot to do with online dating, hence the name of Tales from a Single Life. And I basically look at all these train wreck stories that I have, and I know a lot of people can relate to that. Being out there in the single life, dating is not easy. It's a lot of ups and downs. It's a lot of craziness, and especially when you're doing it online. So I took all those stories, put them together, made a book, and that's pretty much how it all started. And it's something that I could follow through with and still have a full-time job and complete the whole process. So that was also a part of it was doable. So there you go.
So it sounds like you had spent a lot of the time up front writing the blog and keeping up with your day-to-day happenings for the past 3 years. How long did that process take to get it from blog into a book? What was that process like of getting everything turned into a book, and how did that work out?
Well, I had to first start by getting a computer that worked properly. I remember that my in-laws said to me, Stephanie, you're hilarious on Facebook, on Instagram. Your captions are so funny. Why don't you write a book? And I was like, well, I don't even have a computer. And they're like, well, we can make that happen. We're going to get you a computer. I was like, okay, let's go halvesies. Let's get me a computer. So I started writing and kind of stringing those stories together that I already had. And it took probably 2.5, 3 years to do that. Cause I'm working full time. I got 2 kids, I got a husband, I got all these things. So just little bit by little bit at night, on the weekends, I'm just plugging away, trying to make this flow into a proper book. That's how that happened.
So where do you go next? What else is going on in your life? You said you have that behind you. Is there anything else in the works to continue out kind of and help you? You talked about dreams you had. Are you pursuing those as well?
Well, it's funny you say that, because I think that I skimmed over a lot of stories in this book where there's a lot more to them. I could unveil a lot more truths and get a little bit more deeper into it. So I figure the best way to do that is to create a podcast that's going to be on video. So I am interviewing people that are in the book, And we're going to go deeper, and we're going to go chapter by chapter and just break down all the things that go on in the book so we can put some more details out there. People might have some questions. And so we're going to continue to break it down and just take a deep dive into it. I have my best friend, Brandy. She's all throughout this book. And she's going to be on a lot of episodes with me, and we just kind of go back and forth and laugh about it and make it fun. And hopefully people will like it.
Well, that's fun. That's a really unique idea. Anything else you want to share with our audience about yourself or about your book?
Well, I just wanted to let everybody know it's a comedy, obviously. It's a really short, easy read. I got a lot of feedback that people like it because the chapters are so short and they can breeze through it. But everybody says it's a fun read, and it's just me putting myself out there. And I hope everybody likes it. And I really hope you tune in to the podcast.
Well, Stephanie, thank you so much for joining us. You can get a copy of her book. Again, it's called It's All Questionable. It's available online through Amazon, through Barnes & Noble, also available as an ebook through iTunes. And like she said, you can be on the lookout for her podcast that's coming soon. Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
All right, you too. Bye.